What is up, YouTube? I am back with another trade recap. It has been a couple weeks since my last trade recap, and in that time, I have blown a couple of counts, including the XFAs that I was on when I last uploaded. Um, I just felt like I just didn't feel like uploading. I just didn't feel like uploading in that time. There's nothing really that I wanted to upload about. So I just want to be transparent about that, though. I want to be transparent about that. I just did not feel like posting it, mainly because nobody watches me, anyways. So I just wanted to come on here and post this because this is my best day that I've had since the last uploads I had. Cleanest day psychologically, cleanest day executionally. So I just want to hop into the charts now. Okay. Cool. So coming into the day, coming into the day, um, we had this big sell off last week. Came down, swept these lows on the higher time frame. Big wick. Inverse is 4 hour, and then yesterday, Sunday, we kept coming higher. So I was I was bullish on the higher time frame. I was bullish like as a higher time frame bias, but we were in this 1 hour. Oh no, all my drawings. Yeah, we were in this 1 hour. I'm gonna rehide these for later. So yeah, we're in this 1 hour, and we had this big run up, and there was no real retrace. So I wanted to see some kind of retrace. So I could see. I just wanted to see what was gonna play out because we're up here, we're deep into the range, we're coming back up, and we could really do anything from here. We could retrace, we could keep pumping up to these highs. ES was a lot closer to those highs. If I zoom out, ES came up a lot closer to these highs. So I was just trying to wait to see what happened. This already okay. I was just trying to see what happened at market open and what we would do, where we would manipulate. So coming down, almost on the 5 minute. So okay, let's go forward. That was market open. Okay, market open, ran higher, didn't sweep out. We didn't sweep out anything on the higher time frame. We're just running up into this 1 hour imbalance. And then we come back lower. So at this point, I wanted to see manipulation higher to then see like a big move lower to take out all this low resistance liquidity. So yeah, all this is so clean. There's equal lows down here as well. Okay, whatever. I'll just put the stuff on. So yeah, all this low resistance liquidity. But then we had this 5 minute fair value gap. I wanted to see how price would react out of this. So we come down, we wick out of it really hard. I wanted to see if I wanted to take shorts, which I was short bias at this point. If we were to get this 5 minute inverse, I was gonna take a short down to these lows. But we had this big 5 minute wick, and we came back up. You can already see my trade, but so we had this change in the state of delivery right here. Clean in this 5 minute, rejecting out of it. And then we opened this 1 minute fair value gap and then came back down, tapped the 1 minute, held change in the state beautifully. I entered right here and just targeted these highs with stops below this fair value gap because if we're wicking out of this 5 minute this hard, I would not want to see it come back. I want to see it pump straight to these highs if we're rejecting from this 5 minute as hard as it did. So I entered off the 1 minute retrace, held the change in the state. Beautiful. I did not need to see an inverse fair value gap. I'm sure there was one. If we look on like the 15 or 30 second. There might have been one. It's being weird. Okay, there might have been one there. I'm not sure, but I did not need to see one in order to see these highs, because we had the change in the state, clean, open the fair value gap, came back down, tapped it, rejected it, 5 minute, beautiful, straight to TP, and like 2 candles. And yeah, I was gonna leave a runner up to these highs up here. I did leave a runner on, but it got stopped out because we did need a retrace on the higher time frame, so that's why I got stopped out. And after this trade, hold up, why doesn't it let me take off? Hold up. Is it not gonna let me because I'm in replay? Whatever. So yeah, we ended up chopping around a little bit. We created multiple SMTs up here, but like this is the one that really just held. It just kind of chopped around, and then we eventually broke down. I wanted to see some kind of clear displacement lower because we didn't have any real displacement through anything. So, like, obviously I said I wanted to see shorts in the intermediate term just to get a retrace down to all these lows, all these clean draws down here. You're down to London low as well. There was some equal lows right here with London. The 4-hour fair value gap, Asia low, a new day opening gap, or new week opening gap. There's just a lot of draws lower that I wanted to see, and we're in that big 1 hour. So I just wanted to see some type of bearish order flow to get confirmation. So we had this SMT, had some manipulation here, and then we just kind of chopped around. I wanted to see on this move right here, I wanted to see this next candle kind of follow through this 1 minute. And then I would have entered short, but it just chopped around a little bit. And then we came down. We came down and we finally inversed this 1 minute. I did enter like somewhere around here. I entered somewhere around here, just targeting this 15-minute fair value gap that was right here. So we had a 15-minute right here that I wanted to target originally, like mainly. That wanted to be my main target. What the hell? Okay, so yeah, but I ended up taking this first position off, because there was an SMT at these lows with ES, and ES already tapped the 15-minute. But then I realized that there's nothing showing me that we want to reverse off this SMT, and I was already up in a little bit of profit, so I could have just moved stop. Well, if I did move my stops to break even, it would have break even me, but there was no reason to really take the trade off other than that, and there's so much room to the downside as it is. There's no reason we would just reverse from here, really. So I took that off, and I was like, that's probably not a smart idea. So I re-entered probably about here. Yeah, I re-entered about here. And I'm very glad I did. On this candle, I was not glad. I was not happy about that candle, but then we ended up following through back down to the downside. I moved stops to break even at this. It's being weird. I moved stops to break even at this low right here, and then we continued down, had a big candle through my TP. I think I took 9 out of 10 contracts off at this 15-minute fair value gap and just left a runner down to these lows. Yeah, so a little bit more context for why I took this trade is I had a very bearish bias after seeing this SMT, after seeing this displacement down lower. I really wanted to see us retrace into this 15-minute at the minimum. Even if we were bullish, I would want to see us retrace in this 15-minute and pump back up to the highs. So I just wanted to take this short down to this 15-minute. It was a confident draw. Took most of my position off there. It was a confident trade, and then I left the runner down here. But yeah, so I ended up adding I ended up adding to my position around here. And yeah. What up, bro? I'm making a YouTube video. Yeah. Yeah. So, are you going to the bank? Or are you going to the car? Alright. So, yeah. I ended up adding to my position. Adding to my runners, but it's a very aggressive play. I added to my runners about here. I usually don't do it that much, but I was already up 750 at this point. I was fine with seeing either break even or a big day. So I added like 2 more cons to my runners. It averaged my fill out to about here. Had stops at break even, and then it just kept following through like I wanted to see. So yeah. Ended up hitting, and I'm up 1,027 today on both my accounts. So banger day. It ended up working out. And I did end up getting stopped on my last runner about here on this move, but I had a runner. I took 2 of the 3 off right here and had a runner down to this 4-hour fair value gap. But it didn't hit, it reversed. I think it'll still follow through down to there. Still need that retrace on the higher time frame, or a bigger one, in my opinion. We could reverse from here. It definitely could, but there's still a lot more room to the downside that we could see and that I would want to see, especially with this big 15-minute wick here. Could definitely see that. But yeah, that was really my trade for the day, or my 2 trades for the day. Very clean, in my opinion. So yeah, I liked how I managed my trades today. It was one of my cleanest days, probably my cleanest day since blowing my accounts. And when I had that XFAs that I passed. So yeah, there's really nothing else to say other than I want to be a little bit more transparent and make more of my videos, no matter what the outcome is. But it's hard to get motivated when you're losing and blowing accounts, and you don't have any viewers as it is just starting up. So, I want to get into posting more regularly. So that's the goal. And where is it at? Alright. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm just trying to get a little bit more consistent with the uploads and my psychology so I can have better results and better videos. But those are my trades for the day. I'll see you guys later.